Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Let's jump right into it. So I am recording this right at the time we are coming into the supply zone and seeming to stall out. I'm not saying we have any clear signs of momentum stalling right here. We literally don't. We're gonna have to see how this forms. I did see on the 5-minute chart we had a two shooting stars back to back. So I mean, that's the first sign, but I'm just gonna say right now, as of right now, this thing ain't looking too bad. We got this higher low down here, as we were calling it. It came down to our demand zone. I took it off the chart. It's not relevant right now. Will be if we start losing this zone right here. But as of right now, guys, all I am looking for is a back test of where we just broke out of here on SPY. So we did have the spinning top yesterday. We came up. So as long as you close above the spinning top today, then that completely invalidates this candlestick formation right there. But I still do think this is the time to be cautious on taking long positions. And if you are in long positions, then this is the time where you should be at least trimming and getting some of those profits. Why? Because we're sitting right here in the supply zone. In like right above the supply zone, you do have the 0.786 fib from all-time high all the way down here to the October low. Now that we have that out the way, actually, I'll just say the level is 451.50. That is what you're watching. It's actually 451 like 60. And above there, we do have room all the way up here to 457, which I personally do think is on the table. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm not saying things are going to happen. We're going to keep taking things as we go. That's what we like to do here on the channel. But as of right now, I think it's time to be cautious because upside is limited. The time to be taking long positions is over here. And if you want to play the breakout or the potential of the breakout, you had CPI and you could have gambled before. But the real time to be taking long positions was when we came back down to this demand zone. Now, that's probably not the most accurate demand zone. I forgot where it was, but that's my rough picture right there. All right, I'm going to point out, we do have this, it's a little fat doji candlestick right here. So again, it's just a candlestick of indices. You're not getting increased volume or anything like that, not high volume. Now, we will have the end of the day volume spike, so we'll have to see about that one. Go follow on Twitter if you would like to see post-market updates. I will be posting a written update every day on SPY and QQQ and IWM over there on my Twitter page. So there's that. But moving over here to QQQ, I am going to, let me first just delete some of these. So we did pass this 0.786 fib. We actually gapped above it, came down and flipped that. That is where we bounced off of over there. And now we're approaching the next resistance, which I will add is not a strong resistance. The next strong resistance we got going on here, I actually have the zone. That is a wrong zone. Let me just go a little like that, and we will make that right there. Go a little like that. Drag that bad boy over there. There you go. All right. So you're going to have a supply zone up there. I do not doubt there will be sell orders up here, but that is all the way up at 390. We have this weak resistance right here. And I say weak because look, all right, price already came back and filled it. You had this, it was structure back here. You came down, you demolished that. So yeah, it was previous structure, and that's why we're going to keep it on the chart. But I am going to definitely clarify that it should be weak resistance. Nevertheless, we are coming right up to it. That is at just about 379. We'll call it 379, 380. So regardless, I'm just going to point out, I think a lot of this upside on this move has already been completed. Let's just start getting a sick, nasty squeeze. But I'm just going to point out over here on SPY, you are up, let's see, from where we are pointing out where, and keep in mind, we were pointing out over here, and then, you know, we were ready to buy that dip. But over here, you're up $12 on that move. All right. So the last move only lasted $13. And that's why I say, hey, not a bad time to be trimming that profit. You literally just caught the whole move. If you loaded up with us down here, you caught the whole move. Do not do yourself a disjustice and not lock in that profit. The P&L is not yours until you lock it in. I will point out, yeah, on this move over here, you did have a filthy move over here. That was an $18 move. And even if it's going to be like that, all right, you're missing out on $5 upside. If you want to protect the gains you just made, that's that. All right, you're in the perfect spot to do so. We're going to come on over here to ES, and I am going to point out the 4-hour RSI is all the way up here, guys. When did we point out to be going long on this thing? Because the probabilities, well, I didn't say to go long, but when did we point out that the probabilities were very high that we are going to be seeing a decent sized bounce? Specifically, I think it was a 3%. Yeah, 3% bounce. Down here, what are we at? We're just about at a 3% bounce. You have your RSI divergence over there, and we actually did point out that you had the same thing over on, oh, the CCI is not here. Oh, Oh, it is there. I'm just blind, I guess. You had the bullish divergence going on over there on the CCI as well, and it was the same look over here on NQ. But guess what, guys? These oscillators have completely reset. They're now on the upside. And what are these circles over here? Circles are when your RSI came down and hit that line. All right. That's just what we will do here on the channel. That is my guarantee to you. You will get continuous insights on what is going on the charts on SPY and QQQ and IWM here on this channel. Also over here on Apple, obviously we're going to be paying attention to the popular tickers that will be moving the markets. And even over here on the 4-hour RSI, over here on extended hours, you can see we have came a long way. We called out, you had this bullish divergence going on. You also had one over on the CCI. I don't think I called that one out though. But yeah, guys, this thing is all the way back up at this middle range. So this middle part of the range over here on the RSI. So I still do think we have upside to go, so don't get it twisted, but I'm actually going to point this out right here. You do potentially have this inverse head and shoulders formation loading here. All right, so that is something to pay attention to. Maybe we could bring that back down there. Oh, look at that. That perfectly lines up. So if you do start seeing a dip down here, and as long as it does not go under this low of 186, just about 186.60, then yeah, you will have a valid inverse head and shoulders formation. And yeah, I personally will be buying the dip on Apple if we see this opportunity again. Just like over here, all right, this thing was going to be moving the market. It's probably not going to change. And I actually took a look at the rebalancing thing on the NASDAQ. And guys, these things are not really changing. I think the weighting of the top 10 tickers, we're going to call them. I don't think it's 10. I think it's like more like 5 to 7 tickers. But the weighting of those are going from 44% to 38%. So do you really think this is going to affect how things play out too much? Not really. You could see a short-term dip on these things, but in reality, they are still going to be leading the NASDAQ. And yeah, that's how I see things. We are going to go over that in the weekly update, and we're going to go back and reference the last time we had a NASDAQ rebalancing and see what happened on the charts there, because I'm sure it's probably going to be pretty similar to what's going on here. That is something else we do here on the channel. Why not look back at history? It's going to be relevant. So we will check that out in the weekly update. Stay tuned for that one. But I'm just letting you know, I don't think this rebalancing is really going to be something crazy. And right there. All right. So this is the last time Apple was at the middle line right here of its 4-hour RSI. And you still had some upside. I still don't think this is all the upside we're going to be seeing on the indices as well as over here on Apple. I will point out, Google going absolutely insane today. I unfortunately didn't see this falling wedge here. I did not. I literally, this thing skyrocketed past 123. I'm just going to point out a few levels here, and that is something like I said, we're going to take a look at the popular tickers. This thing right here is going to be, you know, it looks like, you know, this guy got the momentum right now. Sometimes Apple, sometimes Amazon. Which I'll actually also point out over here, Amazon, the one day, all right, the one day that we had Prime Day. So I was watching Prime Day for the catalyst to get out of this range. I've been watching this range for quite some time, and we finally gapped up. Your boy sold this calls, I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday or this day over here. Yeah, this was literally the catalyst that I was waiting on, and I was like, this is probably going to cause a spike in Amazon and get it out of the range. Yeah, it literally brought it right up to the first target I was watching, but that's not for this video. We won't talk about that. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. I'm just letting you know, I am looking for a pullback all the way down here to backtest the 444 breakout point on SPY. Over here on QQQ, you have gone quite a ways, and if you want to break out where you broke out from, or if you want to backtest where you broke out from, you're going to be coming all the way down here to 373. That is a $5 move. So that is what I'm seeing over there. IWM, I'm going to point out that it was flagging this morning. It came back, and it's just literally chilling here. Chilling here right on, this resistance that we were talking about. It gapped right up above it. I'm going to be honest, IWM is probably looking the best out of all of the indices to me. I know it hasn't gone on this massive run like it has before, but it clearly is just breaking out of these ranges one by one. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a pullback to that gap fill. And then maybe from there, you do something like this. You pull back to the gap fill. Maybe you back test the top of this range that you broke out of the other day. And then you do something like that and go all the way up to this next 198.40 target up there. And that is just about it. With that being said, I will catch you all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of your day, and peace.